Okay. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So we can start, I guess. So hi everyone. My name is Adrian Lazar. I'm a solution consultant with Palo Alto Networks. And today we are going to talk about an exciting topic, um, AI security. And more precisely, how we make our AI models and agents and applications safe with Prisma AIRS from Palo Alto. That's a new platform that Palo Alto just announced in the RSA conference a few weeks ago. And we can set the stage with a few numbers. Yeah, we have 47% of enterprises already building AI applications by now. 1.6 million is the number of models on Hugging Face alone. They are open source models. And we have over 100K of potential enterprise AI applications ready by 2026. So this means that the number of AI applications is exploding. Yeah, it's skyrocketing. And this means that the attack surface is also pretty offering for the hackers, for the attackers. Um, Now let's make a step back and see how the applications architecture looks like in the past decade. Yeah, because in the past decade we've seen a significant evolution in application architecture that has not only changed the way we develop software but also how we secure it. Yeah, so everyone knows that initially applications were built using three-tier architecture. We had the front end with the web servers, we had the application servers, and we had the database. Yeah, and we needed to protect all of these components. And of course, they were running over infrastructure like VMs or containers. And now, then came along the cloud. Yeah, so the cloud gave organizations the opportunity to modernize those applications, those classic three-tier applications, by going into microservices. Yeah, so containers, Kubernetes, they are now the go-to standard for applications. But now AI-powered applications represent the third wave of application transformation. And it's not so easy. It's not that easy as just plugging in a large language model, LLM, to your application, and then you are done. You have an AI stack. No, you need to add the whole AI stack to your application, and you need to give it access to your sensitive internal data for critical functions like training or inferencing. And this obviously increases the attack surface a lot. And talking about the attack surface, these are the current types of attacks that different infrastructure components face. Yeah, we have the web front end, we have the application, and of course, by adding the AI stack, we are increasing this attack surface. So the AI infrastructure is subject to supply chain attacks. Yeah, so we might get an AI model that is already compromised. Um, and then AI models are at risk due to misconfigurations and vulnerabilities. And of course, there are unscanned models from open source communities that can contain malware. And after we launch the AI applications into production, they can see we start seeing actually a lot of runtime risks. And let's have a look. Let's take a look at some of these new threats. Yeah. So prompt injection. Prompt injection is a type of attack where an attacker uses a series of prompts, yeah, in order to trick or manipulate the application into displaying data or information which are not allowed by traditional guardrails. So here in this example, we have a role play. The attacker is proposing like this type of role play to the chatbot. He's the bank system The bank administrator and chatbot is a database. And at the end of the day, the database, meaning the chatbot, is giving up some important, some real information about some accounts that the attacker can leverage then in his attack. And then we have insecure outputs. Yeah, malicious URLs can be displayed in application data through either unintentional or intentional methods. Yeah, sometimes this can happen because the chatbot queries bad data, or sometimes the data source, so where the URL is kept, can be maliciously poisoned. Yeah, so someone just replaced the URL in the database. And usually these URLs are the starting point for a bad actor to gain trust and work their way into the user's computer, and then he can jump to the critical assets. Then we have the sensitive data leaks. Yeah, sometimes AI applications and models can display more information than necessary, which can lead to a leak of personal or sensitive information, like in this example where the user is just asking for some advice regarding his symptoms, symptoms, and the AI is referencing a patient, a real patient, with his personal data. Memory poisoning is a type of attack that is targeting AI agents. Yeah, and maybe this is a good time to differentiate, to explain what's the difference between AI agents and AI models. Yeah, for the ones who don't know, an AI model is a system or algorithm that is trained to perform specific tasks, such as classification, prediction, recognition, based on some data. An example of an AI model is GPT. Yeah, ChatGPT is a good example. And ChatGPT, as you know, works with input data, makes decisions, and provides an output. This is how the AI models work. An AI agent, on the other hand, is a more autonomous system that can perceive its environment. So it can interact with the real world. It can make decisions and take actions to achieve a goal. For example, Microsoft Copilot is an AI agent because he's interacting with your email inbox, with your calendar. And another good example of AI agent is the autonomous car driving agent. And he's really interacting with reality, because if he will make a mistake, then the consequences will be dramatic. So this this memory poisoning is targeting the memory of those AI agents, and the attacker just want to exploit the memory capabilities by corrupting or altering stored information, so including past interactions and context data. Imagine that someone is altering the memory of the autonomous driving car AI agent, and he doesn't remember the difference between a human being and a tree. Yeah, so that would be really dramatic. And then we have tool misuse, still related to AI agents. Attackers can also can exploit AI agents' access to the company tools. Yeah, and this occurs when attackers manipulate an AI agent's instruction processing to abuse its authorized capabilities towards some tools. Yeah, so in this example, we have a booking type of AI agent, and someone is referencing his booking, hotel booking or trip booking function. And with crafting the prompts, he manages to book 500 seats in Dubai, and he will only pay for one because the AI agent has full access to the backend systems. Okay, so now we've seen all these examples, and we can deduce what's needed for a comprehensive AI security. So first of all, we need to be able to scan our AI models. because companies can take the models from different sources. Some companies, they can develop their own model, but most of them, they are getting the models from open source community. So they need to be able to scan it. And then we have posture management. We need to be able to assess the permissions and the vulnerabilities of our AI model and agents. And then before launching into production, we should be able to simulate attacks against our AI stack. And this is AI red teaming, is part of the platform. And after we launch it, after we did this simulated attack and we launch the AI system into production, of course, we need to protect it. Yeah? So we have AI runtime security and AI agent security. And the problem so far was that these security tools, they are fragmented. They are point products that do not talk to each other. They don't share threat intelligence and are managed independently. Yeah, and this means that enterprises are left to stitch this together while threats evolve at record speed. So that's why Palo Alto announced a few weeks ago in the RSA conference in USA the Prisma AIRS platform. So the Prisma AIRS platform includes all these features, yeah, model scanning, posture management, AI red teaming, runtime security, and AI agent security, and they are under the same umbrella. They are sharing threat information, they are sharing a GUI, so they are very easy to operate in a centralized way. And now let's take each feature and say a few words about it. AI scanning or model scanning. So in traditional security, we scan code and we scan infrastructure for vulnerabilities. Yeah, this is a common thing to do that every company knows and is already doing. But in AI models, the risks are even hidden deeper. Yeah, so the risk can be hidden in the training data, in the model architecture, or in the model behavior. So therefore, every model must be scanned to ensure it is safe, it is secure, and clean before it ever reaches production. So here I have a nice example with a company, a financial institution that was developing his own AI agent online. And the AI agent was designed to detect fraud in financial transactions. Yeah, and of course they started with a model that was acquired from a third party. Yeah, they didn't develop their own model in house. And a few weeks before the launch, someone came with the idea, okay, but before we launch it, let's scan it. And they did. They used the scanning, an AI scanning tool to scan the system, the AI model. And they found that the model had a vulnerability in the AI decision making itself. We can call it AI DNA. So it was flawed at the core. And this meant that the clever adversarial attack was able to manipulate seemingly legitimate transactions and slipping them through the system undetected. And that would have meant a lot of financial damage for this company. And of course, after that, they made a step back. They reassessed their AI model. They changed a few things, and after a few months, they were able to launch it. So now, after we scan and we are sure that we don't have any DNA issue with our agent or model, now we need to assess the AI stack posture, yeah, AI model or AI agent's posture. So with Prisma AIRS, we can continuously and proactively monitor the ecosystem posture. Yeah, we can help with locking down misconfigurations, excessive permissions, and data exposures. Like in this example here, this looks to be like real estate booking agent. And as you can see, this booking agent has over permissive rights to the Salesforce tenant of the company. So he can update records, he can delete records, and this might be a big vulnerability if the AI agent is attacked or compromised. And here below, we see the potential threats that the platform is identifying for this agent. We have memory poisoning, identity impersonation, and or tool misuse. All of this could lead to the Salesforce data of this company, that is critical data, being compromised. So after we scanned our model and we assessed the model posture into our infrastructure with permissions and with vulnerabilities, the next step before we launch it into production is to scan to attack it. Yeah, so we have a tool called AI red teaming that doesn't just run through a set of preset AI prompts. No, it can simulate and attack the system, and it can learn and dynamically adapt, and then it tries again. So it's a real-world simulation. And here I have another nice example with a healthcare company, technology company, that was developing an in-house AI agent for virtual health assistant that would help doctors and patients manage chronic conditions. It could schedule appointments or provide health recommendations. It was a nice healthcare AI agent. And as you can imagine, this type of AI agent was dealing with a lot of sensitive data, like diagnosis, health records, medical information of all sorts. And again, a few days before the launch, they thought about actually simulating an attack, a real-world attack on their agent before launching into production. And what they did, they of course employed a company that was doing that because they didn't have this type of tool in their hands. Prisma AIRS didn't exist back then. And they started with manipulated prompts. So trying to trick the AI into providing incorrect health advice or giving up health data. And they also tested the AI integrity. So they tested the system's resilience to model poisoning. Model poisoning being a technique where attackers subtly alter the training data to introduce biases or errors into the model. So they did all that, but at the end, they obviously saw that their AI model is vulnerable to some prompts, crafted prompts. They were able to fix the issue at the end of the day after a few weeks, and they were able to launch it. But they saw the utility of this type of attack simulation. Without it, they would have lost a lot. Okay, and our AI red teaming is doing the attack in a context-aware environment. So we know what type of application we are testing or what type of agent. We provide a detailed reporting after that, and we provide policy recommendations. So these policy recommendations can, after that, be integrated into the runtime security a tool that we are going to talk about in a second. Okay, so to recap, we scanned our open source model. We assessed the model's posture inside our infrastructure, and we also attacked it. So we employed the AI red teaming tool to simulate a real-world attack, and now we are ready to launch into production. So we launched the AI agent. We have a lot of clients, of users that are interacting with it. The next step is to protect it while it is running. So in Prisma AIRS, we have AI runtime security tool that can protect the AI while it's running from the network perspective. Yeah, so in the network perspective, think about a firewall that is very specialized. It's built to secure AI applications. And this firewall sits in the middle of the AI stack, and it can see all communications between the AI components, yeah, between the agents and the database, for example, agents to models, users to agents, and so on. So it can see all communication related to the AI stack. And this smart firewall is managed centrally. So if a company has multiple AI applications or models, they need to deploy multiple firewalls, and they can be managed from a central location. And then we can protect the AI model or application from inside. Yeah, we call it developer-centric. We are able to deploy a generated API key, and this API key is embedded within the code base. And this API key is able to analyze the prompts and the responses. Of course, the API key is compatible with any type of LLM, and it can display custom error responses based on detected threat. Yeah, so it's basically a monitoring feature from the inside. We are able to see how the AI agent or the AI model is doing from the code. Okay, so now we are protecting our AI application from in production, but now we also want to protect the agents. Yeah, as we discussed earlier, the agents have the ability to remember. They have the ability to plan and to act on your behalf. So here in the right, you see a list of AI agents on the market today. They are not just built by developers. Agent platforms have made it so easy for anyone to build one using your company's data. So it's it's not extremely easy, but for someone smart, it's fairly easy to build an agent. And the agents are prone to attacks like memory poisoning, tool misuse, and identity impersonation that we discussed about earlier. And what we can do about it? First of all, we need to make sure that our agents stay aligned to our business. Secondly, we don't want our agents to generate harmful or toxic outputs. Yeah, we don't want them to talk about competitors, for example, or start giving instructions on how to build a bomb. That would be very bad. The agent usually has a job to do, and we want to make sure it carries out properly. Lastly, we don't want our agents to hallucinate or to give outputs that deviate from knowledge sources. Yeah, we want them to be accurate in the information they provide. And Prisma AIRS can make sure this happens. So now, summarizing all of that, we have the best platform for AI model protection. I would say not only the best, but the single platform that includes all these features. We can protect the AI data as well with 1,000 plus predefined data patterns. We can also protect AI applications and AI agents, all of this in one unified platform. Thank you very much. I will give the mic or the scene to my colleague Keith, and thank you for spending 30 minutes with us.
Many thanks, Adrian, for the interesting presentation. If anyone has any questions, please write them in the chat, and we can discuss. If not, I have maybe one question, Adrian, if you have a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if the AI agents, for instance, or the other tools are integrated within the landscape of the client where the deployment takes place. Do you have any special recommendations for such integrations, or will this tool be involved somehow in the integration? So,
I mean,
yeah.
sorry. Um, in the integration between the agent and the client infrastructure, you mean?
Yes, yes. So if it uses an input from somewhere in the client infrastructure, or it provides an output to another IT system in the landscape in this respect.
Yeah, so if basically our job is to inspect all the data related to the AI agents and to the AI models, because most of the times the agent is using multiple AI models behind. Yeah, the agent cannot act alone. He needs the model. The model is the smart guy in the room. The enterprise can choose where to host those models. It can be on-prem, it can be in the cloud. But regardless of that, we see this traffic, and we can secure it.
Mhm. Super, super. Many thanks. And maybe one more question. So you mentioned that for AI red teaming, the let's say the use cases are not predefined, but the AI tool for red teaming learns and tries new attack patterns and so on. Should this AI red teaming be done continuously, or is this part kind of integrated in the continuous analysis when using the AI tools by the organization?
Yeah, I mean, it's vital to do it before launch, before going to production. And then, of course, it can be done periodically, maybe when some updates happen. Yeah, so if you introduce some new models, if you change something in your AI infrastructure, it's better to start with the red teaming immediately after the change. So you validate your security posture, revalidate it actually. So the tool is available in the platform
Mhm.
to be used at any time, of course.
Mhm. Okay, okay, super. Many thanks. That these were the, let's say, the questions from my side. Very interesting tool, and looking forward to see use cases and have more presentation on it as things develop.
Yeah, thank you.
Super. Now we have our second speaker for this evening, Keith, who will be speaking about Cybersecurity Academy, and I'll let you, Keith, say a few words about yourself and to start the presentation.
Absolutely. Firstly, I want to say thank you so much for the invite. I'm so honored to be able to present here today. I want to also call out the amazing presentation that Adrian just made. Adrian, wow, I've got a tough act to follow. So well done. It was very, very informative. And you know, AI changes on such a fast pace that Palo Alto Networks themselves, you know, are doing a great job on being the providing the thought leadership going forward from a cybersecurity perspective as well. So, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. My name is Keith Cantillon. I am the technical manager of the Cybersecurity Academy for Palo Alto Networks. I am an Irishman, but I live here in the Netherlands for the last 6 years. Work brought me here to the Netherlands with it, and yeah, it's been an absolute whirlwind journey for the academy perspective in Palo Alto Networks as well. And we've got so many academy partners throughout the world that we support and help on an everyday basis. But one thing I want to kind of drive home here as well is one of the reasons why I always got into the education. I'm a teacher by trade, but one of the reasons why I got into the education and then also from the academic perspective is to see that light bulb on the child or adult's face when they finally get that aha moment. They kind of go, aha, I understand it. And I think that's a really, really nice quality to have from a student's perspective, when they can see that all of their work that they're doing to get to that phase, they can actually get over the hurdle with it. So what I have today is I'm going to give a presentation, of course, through PowerPoint or Google Slides, but I also want to show some practical examples of the actual course content. I also want to show the way that we approach it from a hands-on lab perspective. The other two areas I also want to touch on is, we have great academic material for schools, colleges, universities, adult education centers, government entities, and so on and so on. But what about the younger children? What about the children at the age of 5? What about the children at the age of 8? And you kind of go, but they're not on the internet. I guarantee you that nearly everybody's child is looking for their phone to go on YouTube or Roblox or something like that with it. So to try create a cyber safe space for kids as well, I think is very, very important from an awareness perspective. So they're the areas that I want to touch on. And lastly, I want to just look at the curriculum itself. This is specifically based around, the instructors, the lecturers, the principals of schools that are able to integrate our technology and our curriculum into their existing school, college, university courses, etc. with them. So let me share out my screen, and feel free to ask any questions in the chat window if you wish to, no problem at all. Let me go and have a look here. So I'm hoping that you guys can see the screen here. And let me just throw this up and move this over here as well. I'll just ask, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can see
Okay,
it.
awesome. Thank you so much. So yeah, our mission essentially is that we want to be able to prepare students for successful careers in cybersecurity and address the needs for our customers around the globe. So it's very, very important that, it's very important that the student gets a kind of a clear path of, how they can become a network security engineer, or a cybersecurity engineer, or a pen tester, or working on the red team or the blue team or the white team, or whatever the case would be, that they have a cybersecurity awareness as the option. So that's always very, very important to come across as well. This is one that we just kind of touch on, which is, of course, we are the number one in enterprise security for the last 3 years. And from a customer perspective, we have, growing all the time. This is probably slide is probably old. It's over 85,000 customers worldwide, and in up to and plus 150 countries as well. So that brings me on to the Academy, and where I sit on the Academy perspective as well. So we have currently 104 plus countries that are registered into the academic program. We have over 3,500 academies worldwide. And on a typical day, one of those academies could be teaching one, if not all of our courses. On a daily basis to their students. We also have a big drive and push to be able to put this into high schools, so secondary schools, primary schools, that type of areas as well, along with colleges and universities. And we just hit a milestone actually there in January of 2025 that we have over 1 million students engaged in our curriculum since we started our academic program. So it's been a real success story for us, being able to provide this content absolutely free of charge to any institution that wants to be able to impart the knowledge to their students with them. So let's have a look. So let me see. Anything here that we have? No, it's just cybersecurity needs innovation to succeed, which is fine. Going on here, this is the one I kind of focus on more than anything, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this slide. I will also come out of the presentation and show you the likes of the Network Security Fundamentals course and possibly Cloud Security Fundamentals as well. So when I was listening to Adrian and his fantastic presentation, we talked about, or he talked about again, the power of artificial intelligence, but also, the firewall, and also from cloud security and endpoint security as well. So we actually cover pretty much all of those topics in the academic curriculum as well. And with the introductory modules that we provide to our academic partners, those introductory modules or courses, should I say, they're not so much introductory. There's a lot of information to be to partake with it, but they give a great understanding of what cybersecurity is in a general way. What do I mean by in a general way? So it provides cybersecurity topics, techniques, and training in a vendor neutral perspective. So it gives a great grounding or foundation to an individual that wants to learn about cybersecurity and not specifically target one company, because it's so important that, and I always use this analogy, it's so important that, if I was a car mechanic, I need to know everything about a Mercedes to a Toyota to a Renault. Why? Because I'm a mechanic. I need to know not just the engine, but everything to do with the car. So the same situation from from cybersecurity. I don't want to know just one specific tool and one particular product. I want to know it in a broader understanding. So that's what we kind of heavily focus on our introductory module courses. All of these courses can be taught over a semester for students. They can be instructor led, so the teacher can teach them, and they can choose like that it's a 1 hour class a week or 1 hour class a day or whatever they decide to do as well. Or they can actually assign these courses as a self-paced option to their students as well. So the instructor can then be almost the consultant coming in and overseeing the modules and courses that they assign to their specific students with it. Each of our courses also contain a certificate of completion. So why is that? Why would I mention a certificate of completion? Well, if it was a case that a student needed to complete, let's say, the network security fundamentals course, if they needed to complete that network security fundamentals course 4 credits for their college or for their university or for their school, then they will get their certificate, and each of our courses carry college credits that can be integrated into that curriculum of the institution. So again, it depends on where it will go. Now, everybody learns in a different way. For instance, what I do when I learn, I read the book, I read the manual, I read the computer the hardback, whatever the scenario is. I underline what I need, and then I summarize those underlined topics in my own words. That's how it goes into my head, essentially, with it. But other people like to be able to look at video content. They might want to be able to do it from an e-learning perspective. But one of the most defining factors, whether you learn by reading, whether you learn by video, whether you learn by audio, is learn by doing. And that is super, super important, that we give and offer free hands-on labs to reinforce every single course that we do inside in the Academy program. So the student not only gets theory, video, assignments, labs, exercises, etc. with them, but they also get that hands-on experience of being able to troubleshoot, be able to configure, be able to play around with our products in an everyday scenario as well. And all of that is free to any institution that wishes to be able to enroll in the Academy program. So that is our introductory courses. I'm going to pause for a moment and I'm going to jump out of here, and I want to actually show you one of these courses with it. So I think it's a network security fundamentals course that I've chosen. But before I do that, what I'm actually going to do here is I want to pop down here for 1 second and let me show you here. Security, no, we'd go back up. It was the top one, my apologies. Yes, there we go. The Network Security Fundamentals course. And you'll notice that it's, what job is associated with a course like this? What could an individual do after stepping through this course? Now, again, it doesn't say that, if you only do this course, then you will be the technical support associate or the help desk associate. Of course, you need your full college education, etc., as well with them. But we assign our courses to an infrastructure called a nice NIST infrastructure. It's a US-based institution that aligns our curriculum, and we've aligned our specific tasks to these work roles so an individual can get a great understanding of how and what they would need to be a network admin associate or a cybersecurity specialist. For instance, these are some of the objectives that they do. I'm not going to go into it because I'm going to show you the course in a moment. But what I wanted to show you down here was this course is level introduction. It is a duration of 4 credits or 60 contact hours. So the student can, work on this for a couple of months. They can work on it for a couple of days, whatever they decide to do on it. And as I mentioned there, it is instructor-led or self-paced. If it's instructor-led, we provide on the academy, we provide frequently asked questions, instructor guides, and presentations for those instructors that they can teach it as an instructor-led training course as well, or they can assign it to their students as that self-paced option. So I just wanted to talk about those credits, and that's what I mentioned there a moment ago, is that if the individual completes the individual course here, they'll get a certificate of completion. That certificate of completion will allow them to, let me get rid of that one, will allow them then to be able to get their 4 credits for whatever course that they're doing, college, school, university, etc., as well with those. So let me show you the actual course itself. So I've just created one here quite quickly, and I'm not going to look at the front page here, but what I want to show you is going down here on the way that we structure our courses. And how we do that is we do it on a platform called Moodle. It's very similar to Blackboard or Canvas. A lot of institutions use it because it can be free for those institutions to work with. The institution themselves don't need to house any of this curriculum on their own learning management system. They can export it and import it to their own system if they wish to, but we can keep everything for them, and we assign those instructors, and they have full autonomy or full access and customization techniques to these courses as well with it. So let's reframe this. So if we think of the connected globe, we think of the module that I was talking about. So if I said, okay, the student wants to learn by reading. Okay, we've got reading material. They can review, for instance, some introductory to networks, hubs versus switches, how a router works, depending on the part of the world and how you'd pronounce it. But also, you'll notice here that I have interactive connected globe e-learning, Internet of Things, discovery, video hubs, so many different areas that can be done, activities, and an assessment for each individual module. That's just one chapter in the course. Let me pop down to the next one because I think this one would be more interesting for us. So if I look here again, we've got a reading or resources, etc. But let me pop over to here and I look at my labs. And you'll notice that the student gets hands-on labs to our equipment, even on the fundamental series courses, of how to be able to configure DHCP, for instance, virtual IP addresses. Just go down again here, packet captures, looking at how to be able to read packet captures with them and analyze that information. And again, looking at here, decrypting SSH traffic. Absolutely amazing that that a student can get access to hands-on practical areas using the Palo Alto Networks firewalls as well with them. So that was just a quick synopsis of this area. And just to show you as well on the instructor guides, this is slightly different, but just to give you an idea, we have PCCT resources. So that would be the instructor resources, online proctoring videos. That's more for, sorry, my apologies. Here we go. It's here, faculty resources. We have, so sorry about that. We have network security fundamentals, instructor guide, resources, FAQs, presentations. And we also have student certificate of completion. Why do I mention that? Is because not one size fits all. For instance, an instructor might decide to go, you know, Keith, this is a really good course, and I want to cover the hybrid data center option from a cloud perspective here, and I also want to cover some endpoint security in here, or maybe something with AI in here. So I can, as an instructor, I can request this course, and this course, and totally customize the modules myself. Our courses are delivered in the English language, but of course, I can change the browser to whatever regional settings I have, and a lot of the topics would translate into that language. However, if it was a case that, especially on the lower age groups, that English wouldn't be their first language, then we see a lot of our European partners that would actually go in and customize some areas in their local language for those students that don't have they understand English, but maybe not a working level yet, because they're just learning. They're just a little bit young for those on it. So that's just something to be aware of from a customization as well. So we don't say that you have to cover module A to module Z. We would say to you that, pick and choose what you want. Absolutely not a problem there with them. So all of this is, all of our infrastructure is housed on our system. All of the labs are worked with our partner, Network Development Group, and everything here is totally free of charge for, my favorite word in the English dictionary is free, totally free of charge for any academic institution that wishes to partner with Palo Alto Networks. We then go on to, and I'll cover the certifications in a moment, but we then go on to the more advanced topics. So this one was very much, building that foundation, getting the students on the steps of the stairs. So we now want to pick a topic. Maybe they want to be the network engineer, the cloud engineer, the SOC analyst. That's when I go deeper into the technology and deeper into the labs and more advanced topics, etc. with them. So if I think about the likes of the Firewall Essentials, the Firewall Essentials courses would cover the likes of, decryption techniques. It would cover external authentication, analyzing logs, allowing customized application identifiers and content identifiers with them, making sure that the student knows from a hands-on practical exercises that they can configure and proactively respond to threats, whether they're known or unknown threats with them. And that's very, very important to know as well, because it's super interesting for the students that they can actually get a fully licensed firewall from the Palo Alto Networks Academy that they can use to be able to learn that amazing content in their student environment. It is not for the infrastructure of the institution. It is for the student lab environment with them. So I'll cover the other ones here in a moment, from a cloud security automation and security operations architecture. Actually, I'll just touch on these ones. These ones here give you a great understanding of what cloud is. And, like platform as a service, software as a service. We mentioned hybrid data centers, looking at Kubernetes and containerization. That's where we look at these areas, and then we go into the more advanced topics and talking about the flagship and the product from Palo Alto Networks, which would be Prisma, and Prisma would be our solution from a cloud perspective as well with them. And I'll cover the other one now in a moment, which is the security operations architecture as well. Moving down the line here is I want to just look at the modules, for example, and yes, this is actually I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention, in that we are keeping up to date with the company of Palo Alto Networks. What we find in academic environments is, and a lot of academic partnerships, would be that the content is a little bit old. It's 12 months old, it's 2 years old, and the student may not be getting the most up-to-date information on a regular basis. We strive that we do a course refresh every couple of months to make sure that we are up to date with what's happening with the company. With that being said, we are introducing AI into our courses now as well from a thought leadership perspective and also from an overview perspective. We will be introducing labs based on AI technologies in the future, but at this moment in time, we're using our logs from the firewalls to simulate SOC analyst roles and threat prevention and intelligence, for instance, with them. But to give you a quick example here, you'll notice that, what is AI in cybersecurity? It gives a great understanding of what AI is in cybersecurity. And as Adrian has mentioned, we've got so many different tools out there now, from ChatGPT to Gemini to, all of the other ones that are out there. And it as our business from a Palo Alto Networks perspective is to, make sure that from a cybersecurity perspective, that, the language models, the machine learning areas, they are all protected, so the agents aren't corrupted and giving the wrong information on a regular basis with them. So that's just the foundation side. If I look at over here on the security operations fundamentals, again, you'll see, for instance, the AI-driven security operations platform. So we'll be introducing the likes of XSOAR and XIM from a Palo Alto Networks perspective as well. But again, it's a high-level overview in these topics with them. Some of the labs which I've mentioned already a few moments ago, but just to give you a quick example on these is network security fundamentals, looking at SSH traffic, here under the cloud security, denying international attackers, container vulnerability scanning, looking at the SecOps options. We'd be analyzing the firewall logs, securing endpoints, using dynamic block lists to be able to specifically choose, and these are all included. The SASE options are all now included into the network security fundamentals and the security operations fundamentals courses as well with them. Okay, that brings me to the certifications. So with the certifications, we in the academy, we don't drive the certifications because we play the long game. We play that long game for the student, because a student wants to be able to learn over a semester, over a year, over 2 years, etc. with them. A lot of the time we would see that professionals would take micro courses, and they would take bootcamp courses, etc., to get a specific certification. By all means, do that on it. But from an academic perspective, as I said, we play that long game with them. So we provide a certificate of completion to any student that covers each of the individual courses. But if the student wishes to take the new professional certification called a Cybersecurity Apprentice, which covers all of these specific topics, we offer that student a 30% discount for that certification if they ever wish to take it. If it's an instructor, we offer a 100% free certification voucher for any of the certifications that Palo Alto Networks use and provide on a daily basis as well with them. But again, something to be aware of. But as I said, it's very important to note that, from a student in a school, college, university, they may not be thinking about professional certifications yet. What they're doing is they're getting through their college course, they're getting through their university degree, and they're using our courses to prepare them on that landing strip before they launch their career. The best idea, I would say, is when they are happy to take the certifications, we can provide them with the discounted vouchers. Not a problem with that. Okay, and then I said the cybersecurity generalist is the next level, and you'll notice here that we have network security fundamentals, firewall essentials, SecOps configuration, and the SASE architecture as well, which again is included in underneath the network security fundamentals and the SecOps as well. But as I mentioned, you get plus all access to other Palo Alto Networks certifications as well from a instructor perspective, or a lecturer or teacher perspective, depending on what way you want to use those. So let me come out of that for a moment, and let me go back here, because I want to touch on something here for a moment, and that is here. Yes, does it load up for me? Let's have a quick look. Yes, there we go. So we talked about this a few months ago, and that was, what about individuals that are not at that college level or not at that university level? How can we teach, for instance, my son is 12 years of age. How can I teach my son to be secure and safe on the internet? So I've actually gone through this course with my child, and he's now going in and actually looking at configuring firewalls as well. So I'm a proud father in that regard. But it's very, very important here to know that this isn't part of the academic program. We call this Cyber ACEs, and this is free to any institution, any individual from the street that wishes to be able to learn or provide this to their children. So let me grab this and put this into the chat window for everybody, because I think this might be very, very useful for people as well. There we go. Okay, so that is the Cyber ACEs. But you'll see there it ranges from the ages of 5 to 7 all the way up to the ages of 16 to 18. Where we target at the academy side of things is from the ages 11 to 99. For instance, it's like Lego from the ages of 5 to 99 with it. But it's very, very important to know that we have exercises and areas that can be utilized and used for individuals and students as well. So, as I said, there's some amazing, amazing topics that can be worked with on this. And also, I'm not sure if these are in different languages, so I apologize on that. But this is also very, very nice to be able to have, and let me just grab, yeah, that's there as well, Cyber Safe Kids. I'll just put that one as well into the chat window. I thought that also was very, very useful. So again, it gives you some nice videos instead of maybe reading material, etc. with them. And a lot of this stuff here is exercises that they can use with paper, different items as well that they can work with. Okay, back to the presentation. So I just wanted to mention that as well. I thought it was super interesting to show it. Okay, so how would an academy, and we have many academies in Romania. I have been fortunate and lucky enough to be able to spend some quality time in your beautiful country from previous roles and going to Cluj in Romania, for instance, with it to different the different areas as well. And yeah, it's just been amazing, and also to be able to visit some great institutions and academies, both from the military, Navy, and faculty resources within Romania. And I think I was there in 2019, I think it was as well. We had the European Cybersecurity Challenge that was run in Romania and Bucharest, and that was amazing as well to be able to attend that event. So how would an instructor, how would a college, how would a school get access to our curriculum and our technology absolutely free of charge? So the Academy partner receives free access to curriculum, faculty training, virtual firewalls, fully licensed for your course labs or competition preparation, plus those discounted certifications. So with the fully licensed for your course labs or competition preparation, we often see that institutions will sign up. Maybe they are preparing for the European Cybersecurity Challenge, or they are preparing for a World Skills competition, or any of those particular competitions. They could sign up with us as an academic environment, not use our curriculum at all, but just actually work on the firewalls to prepare themselves for that competition from a student perspective as well. So again, not one size fits all, and that's most important here, that we don't police the instructor on how they use the curriculum. What we just ask is that it's used for students and not to protect the infrastructure itself, as in the college infrastructure. It's more of the lab infrastructure themselves as well. Okay, so when the institution is interested in becoming an Academy of Palo Alto Networks, they will go online to our website and they will complete the Palo Alto Networks Cybersecurity Academy application and sign their life away and donate their kidneys and their heart and their brain to medical research afterwards. No, just joking. That they will sign it and accept the terms and conditions on the form. Typically, it takes about between 48 to 72 hours on a SLA agreement. In other words, that this isn't automated. We have individuals that will check to see, is the instructor part of that institution? Is the institution a school, college, or university? It's not a private institution. It's not providing customer training, because we have our own customer training department within Palo Alto Networks as well. So that's important to note here as well. So if and when the Academy institution is accepted, they will get a welcome email and they'll be sent with all of the onboarding instructions with a self-paced module for that onboarding course that literally brings the kitchen sink to the table for them. It gives them everything that they could possibly use to be able to get the institution started on our academic roadmap with them. Let me jump onto the next slide here for us. And these are just some of the competitions and programs that I've been involved with over the last couple of years. I was super proud of the one here on the left, which is Secure the Future. We have I think we ran it over 6 years. Over the last 6 years, this is based in the US. And just to give you an idea, of course, there's my ugly mug. There's my partner in crime, Dr. Thomas Treverton, and the director of the Cybersecurity Academy, Miss Marianne Burns as well, who is her guidance and foresight is absolutely amazing for us on the academic program as well with them. But with these essentially students and young adults, they were put through their paces of how they would secure the future from an AI perspective, from a healthcare perspective, from an infrastructure perspective, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we ran this course over a period of about 5 months. And we brought, I think each year we have about 300 participants. And we bring the 10 finalists to Santa Clara in California for the final part of the competition. And the individual, the winner, gets a $10,000 cash prize. Second place gets $5,000, and third prize gets $2,500, which is very, very nice from a student's perspective as well. But what is really neat about this is if we have over 300 students applying for this course. It's only in the US in this particular one. We will be bringing it to EMEA over the next year, but at the moment it's in the US. But out of the, let's say 1,200 to 1,600 students that have gone through this, that we have already hired, I think, 11 of those students in successful roles within Palo Alto Networks in the US, which again is absolutely fantastic. And we have, out of those enrolled students as well, we have a lot of them that are working with our partners and with our customers as well. And every single one of them have learned so much in an everyday basis. We also offer it for competitions like the Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition in the US. But of course, we mentioned the World Skills option. We mentioned the European Cybersecurity Challenge. We offer the likes of CTF games, Capture the Flag games, to kind of gamify the learning experience as well, specifically based around, high-end technologies and high-end customers that we would support on an everyday basis. We also would you believe, we've hired an individual from the Virginia Department of the Blind. He's came in as an intern into the academic environment, and he is actually working with us now. He started on Monday, and what a success story for him that we converted our labs to be Braille ready for the visually impaired, that they were able to configure firewalls and configure tools that they were able to protect their network on an everyday basis. Absolutely, truly amazing that this can be done on just from that that foresight from my colleague and peer, which is Dr. Thomas Trevethan there as well. We also offer, of course, the likes of Cyber Madness competitions and many, many more on the right there as well, like Turtle Mountain, Cyber Education Discovery Forum. We run one in India at the moment, which is a virtual internship program, and we have over 100,000 students going through our courses, which are these 4 courses: Cybersecurity Foundation, Network Security Fundamentals, Cloud Security Fundamentals, and Security Operations Fundamentals. And we have, as I said, over 100,000 students that have already gone through that technology as part of their virtual internship program in India. Now, we mentioned also about, the reading material. Some people learn and read in different ways, or learn whether it be by e-learning, by labs, or by reading a document. So I am very, very proud of the fact, and this is actually an old date. We've just updated it, so it's April 2025. So it's just an old slide. But the Cybersecurity Survival Guide covers all of those aforementioned courses that I mentioned a few moments ago, which is, cybersecurity foundations, network security, security ops, and cloud security as well with them. And what's really neat about that as well is that it's almost like the student guide that the user can print it out. It's free of charge, that they can download it, whether they're an institution or not. That's actually all up on our website, which I'll show you as well in a few minutes. But it's super, super nice that the student can go in and look at it and get more information, possibly from the lab guide, or possibly from the e-learning content that they might get, again, read it in a different way. Everybody learns in a different approach with them. So let me just show you our website for a moment. Did I come out of it? I did. So let me just do this. Be easier for me. So here's our Cybersecurity Academy website. Let me just throw that also into the chat window. And just to give you a quick option here, you'll notice again, we've got different schools. We have educators. Going down again here, we can look at Align to NICE, free hands-on labs, updated with the latest technology. And here's the form to be able to apply. So they mainly have to read the terms and conditions and accept the terms and conditions to apply to become an academic institution of Palo Alto Networks. But what's also neat here is our curriculum and the different courses that we can have, and the advanced courses that we have. And then lastly, to download that curriculum that I actually looked at here, you can see that here as well as the example. And again, some of the areas and some of the testimonials that we've worked with. And actually one here is from Stanley College in the US. They've been using our technology for quite some time. And here is the Cybersecurity Survival Guide that anybody can download. And that is the latest one. And yes, so we saw there, it was actually March 2025. My mistake. I thought it was April 2025. It was actually March. How time flies when you're having fun in the Academy itself. The other one I wanted to just touch on here with the Academy is under the learners. I think it's under the learners. And let me just grab here. No, it's not under learners. Sorry, my apologies. Just grab one here for us. It is, find a school. So if I was to click on find a school, you can see here, for instance, all of the schools that we have. And let's say if it was in, for example, in Romania, and going down to the AIRS that we have in Romania, you'll notice that we have quite a lot of schools and colleges in Romania that we already work with in Bucharest, Bacău. Let me see. We have Galati. Apologies on my pronunciations if it's incorrect, but you'll notice that we have a lot of schools that are already in there and are quite heavily engaged on a regular basis as well, requesting our courses, etc. with them. So that's, again, just jumping back here on our presentation, because there are a couple of areas that I want to talk about here in a moment. Yes. So before I move on to my next topic, do you have any questions for me? Is there anything that is unclear? Is there anything that you'd like to get more information about?
Right now, no questions in the chat, but if someone has questions, please do write in the chat. And if they have further on questions, can they contact you or?
Of course, absolutely, absolutely. With it, I can share out my email address here actually, just to have it on the chat window as well. I'm
Okay.
always available. Thank you. I'm always available to have a chat with somebody and help them.
Super. I have to say from my side, I've seen a presentation of this academy in 2019, and
Yes.
I've seen you've grown a lot in the past 6 years,
Yes.
and you focus a lot of flexibility. So this is what I find very useful because everyone can mix and match based on their needs. And
Yes, yes, and that's the important part. And I opened up with the option of it's about the student, and I think that's it is mainly knowing that not one size fits all, and everybody can access this information, and it's customizable and open to improvements as well. We love feedback, good, bad. Feedback is feedback. I always think of publicity, whether it's good publicity or bad publicity, it is publicity, so you get it as well. So I want to kind of shift gears now a small bit, and I want to look at the latest kind of thing that we're coming up with, and not coming up with, but the latest thing that we want to be able to drive from the academic perspective as well. And this kind of leads in a small bit with the AI option, but more on the security operation center. So from a SOC transformation option. So this is something that we wanted to be able to repackage to be able to help. Either it is a student SOC in a college, university, or a school, or it could be that we already have a SOC in a government entity, and they are a customer of Palo Alto Networks. They can actually request these courses because they are a customer, and they can get to the SOC analyst perspective from a SOC analyst one. So it's a very, very useful item, and another shift in the way that we're approaching our technology and our curriculum on a regular basis as well. So this won't take too long, just to kind of mention it to you. So we have here the empowering the next generation of SOC analysts. So typically we saw many individuals working in a network operation center or a security operation center, or it could be a data center operation center. Again, they could be all individual or all encompassed in one. That was the traditional approach. Now we think of the modern SOC, and we think of the alert fatigue that a SOC analyst will get. The sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. They're like going, no, the sky is not falling. You know, the alert is not there, but I get this alert fatigue. I'm on high alert all the time. So there is quite an attrition, as in there's a lot of movement in the job sector from a SOC analyst perspective as well. So we're moving away, and we have moved away from the traditional approach to the modern SOC, which is using technology to be able to look at those false alerts, whether they're false positives or false negatives, for instance, with them. Again, depending on the particular alert, is that we're using the likes of AI to be able to go through those alerts, to be able to triage them, and specifically alert the individual, the SOC analyst, with the correct alert for the correct time, rather than them trying to troubleshoot an alert that they already may have done last week, or another analyst is working on at the same time as well. So it's very, very useful to note. So thinking about the original option, we would have had, the security analyst was going to be spending at least 90% of their time on alert triage and analysis, being able to understand it, capture it in the notes, close the code, and it could be 7 alerts per day per analyst. 100 alerts per day per analyst as the option, or all alerts all the time. But then what would happen with, how could they look at other projects? How could they look at threat hunting, and how could they get extra training for themselves, or look at administrative tasks or meetings? Well, we've kind of looked at that, and we've kind of said, okay, what's the process? How is that being done, and what are the bottlenecks of this SOC analyst role. So we're looking, and we split it into a 30 approach, which is actually from our own SOC analysts in Palo Alto Networks, and this is something that we've worked with them as well. So the alert triage is they're getting the correct alerts to be able to understand them, capture that in the notes, looking at it from the closing the code, but also having playbooks to be able to have automation linked with that SOC analyst that they can proactively respond to something, or that the AI tool or products from Palo Alto Networks will do that from an automation perspective as well. So again, looking at the proactive scenario on the threat hunting page, we would look at find what was missed and missed by preventions and detections. And then lastly, looking at the proactive approach on the projects, which would be alert tuning and QA, tabletop exercises, purple teaming, and of course, researching those threats as well. So as a SOC analyst, how could an individual become a SOC analyst? Well, the student needs to know a broad understanding of the alert triage. They also need to understand the NetSec, the network security, the cloud security, and SecOps in general as well. And it's very important that student has that background. Why? Is because I can go in and go, yeah, I can look at this alert, but I don't know what it means. It's talking about this technology that I've not seen before, or it's talking about a particular packet capture, or it's talking about a particular Cupertino's containerization, etc. Great to know that we have the background information for that student to prepare them for the workforce of tomorrow. Our curriculum equips students with the skills to detect, respond, and mitigate cyber threats as well. So how do we do that? Well, each of our courses, Network Security Fundamentals, Cloud Security Fundamentals, would be looking at it from security and encryption, hands-on experience, looking at it from the cloud security. We'd have, as I mentioned, the containerization and network security, and also from the Prisma and SASE security as well. And when this one is almost like a stepping stone approach. When they go on and they do the next options, which is our security operations fundamentals. And here I think it's very interesting to know about exploring AI-driven security operations, leading on from what Adrian had given on his great presentation, and looking at gaining insights into workflows and possibly looking at those workflows and choosing, should be down here, to automate those workflows and playbooks on the more advanced topics. So again, they get the step-in approach, the step for fundamentals, the step for intermediate, the step for advanced technologies as well. So leverage automation and optimize that SOC efficiency. And then, of course, looking at it from the security operations architecture, describing how the threat intel and playbooks specifically link and automate controls with the MITRE attack stage from a SOC analyst perspective. And of course, lastly, discovering how our platformization would help on an everyday basis from a Cortex XIM, unites SOC capabilities that include XDR, security operation architecture, SIEM, ASMs, and others into a single SecOps platform that Adrian was talking about before as well. And we have all of that. This curriculum, we have all of this information already involved in our academic perspective. And I think that is me done, but I just want to make sure that I have covered everything. So I'll just go back here for a moment. I did want to touch on here as well. Did I do it on the gateway? No, I didn't. I wanted to touch here as well on the more advanced courses, just to give you a quick overview of this one. And let me go back here for a second on the overview of the course. There we go. And for instance, on this course, you'll notice that I get like the likes of security policies, network address translation, and then faculty resources. And again, I want to just drive this home to everyone that we have module presentations for the instructors, instructor FAQs, course completion certificates. If they customize the course, they can do that. Everything is automated in that they can do their module quizzes and their final exam to get their automated certificate within the system, so the instructor doesn't have to do anything. But down here as well is the OVA files. And the OVA files that we offer are, for instance, if I grab them here, are they here? Licenses, instructions. Let me just try, is it this one? Yes. And you'll notice here that I have all of the OVA files. So you'll see that I've got OVAs for the firewalls, for group policy options, or global protect. Sorry, my apologies, not group policy. Global protect. We have our VMs that can be loaded into the infrastructure if they didn't want to use the network development group as well with them. And of course, we offer licenses for fully bundled options as well with them. So again, very, very comprehensive and interesting to say the least. I would like to say again, from my side, it's been an absolute pleasure to present to you today. I hope that I've given you a good overview of the academic program, but it's so important again that we are enabling the future cybersecurity heroes of tomorrow. And the way that the world has been going over the last couple of years from a cybersecurity perspective as well, we need more and more cybersecurity professionals, because to fill that cybersecurity gap, that's worldwide, not just in an individual country with them. So if anybody ever wants to be able to reach out to me, I've shared out my email address there. Look me up on LinkedIn. If there's anything that you'd like me to present or work with you from a thought leadership perspective, please feel free to reach out to me. And again, thank you so much for giving me this platform, and also for bearing with me as I talked through the presentation. So just to mention again, if anybody's any questions, feel free to ask.
Many thanks, Keith, for the presentation. So if you have questions, please ask in the chat, and we will discuss them. In the meantime, I would like to say big thanks from my side for explaining and going through all of the items that you have. I especially liked, aside from the flexibility, the fact that you have something for children of
Yes.
a small age, let's say, in order to prepare them, and to go age group by age group, and to knowing more and more about the technology and how it all fits together. And also about the hands-on, because this is the most important part,
Yeah.
to not only learn things theoretically, but also see how they work in practice, and get your hands on the configurations and so on. So
Yes, correct.
you're doing a wonderful, wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you have later on questions, keep the email address. Good. So many thanks to Adrian and to Keith for the presentations today, and especially thanks to Magda for organizing, and for the partnership with Palo Alto. If you have any, let's say, last remarks before we close the event. Okay, so I think that we can close now, and until next time, until the next event that we organize together. Many thanks all for participating.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Andrei, Larissa, and everybody else.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.